Your clients sometimes know better. Let them speak. Don't oversell yourself. Let them put their vision into jewelry. Jewelry is about being creative. Jewelry is about being innovative. So the way we do it as JBR Co is inspired by the unimaginable. I don't have millions of friends, but the friends I have are worth millions.
And you were just dropping gems. You were just talking about so many different stories and experiences you had. No, save them for the podcast. Save them for the podcast.
I mean, being the first dropout of the entire family is one of the biggest struggles. It was honestly a nightmare for my family to understand me, understand my vision, understand that university wasn't just the path that I wanted. Because once you can overcome all these doubts, the fears, the anxiety, the external opinions, and still make it big in the world, that's when you know that no matter what setback comes to you, you'll end up successful. I like to always say sharks will always stay sharp.
Hello. Hi. How's it going?
All good. How are you?
Very good. Rushil, brother, how are you?
All good, my brother. All good. Excited for today, and I think it's going to be a very interesting conversation.
Good to see you. Thank you for making the time to join the podcast.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes. You know, it was very difficult now because we had, you came in maybe half an hour ago, and we just had off the bat, just incredible conversations.
Exactly.
And you were just dropping gems. You were just talking about so many different stories and experiences you had that I was just like, no, save them for the podcast. Save them for the podcast. So we'll definitely, but you did give me a lot to work with because now I can navigate the conversation and ask you some questions.
Of course.
Yeah. But before that, I would love for you to introduce yourself.
Okay.
And we'll take it from there.
Okay, amazing. So my name is Rushil Kothari. I'm 22 years old. I'm originally from Belgium, lived there for the first 18 years of my life. Now I live in Dubai and I work in the diamond and jewelry industry. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a visionary, I'm an athlete, and I'm someone that has always refused to ever give up.
Nice to meet you. So we met at the 1 Billion Follower Summit.
Exactly.
We were doing interviews. I've actually had a few guests from that event. We connected with some incredible people, you being one of them. And the team, they saw the video we posted on Instagram. They were pushing to get you on. They were saying he's very interesting. He'd make a great guest in the podcast. And I'm very happy that we made it work. We made it happen. We worked on their schedule as well as mine. And as many questions as I have, because it is for someone as young as you, there's plenty of things to talk about, which is quite surprising. Of course, that's one thing that really stands out after meeting you. 22 years old. When we met, we were 21.
Yeah.
Immediately, it stood out. I was like, is he for real? I had to watch the video again. He's 21 years old. The way you presented yourself, the way you were speaking, the passion you were speaking with about your work was just, I'm talking to someone my age, someone older.
Yeah.
So I found that very surprising.
Yeah.
Have you always been like that? Mature for your age?
To be honest, yeah, in some extent, but I feel like maturity is something that can be gained through life experience, right? Through struggle, through adversity, through really going through tough experiences. If you've had to go through that at a younger age, you can gain a lot more wisdom at an older age. I like to always say that failures and setbacks teach you life's biggest lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Success just shows you that dreams can come true.
Mm-hmm.
So it is through the failures and the adversity that you actually become who you're meant to be. You actually learn the biggest lessons of life. So I'm very, very grateful for all the setbacks, all the downfalls I've had at this young age, because it's led to me to be able to unlock this level of wisdom that I have at this age, which allows me to do what I'm doing. So of course, yeah, I've always been on the mature side of things. You know, when I was a kid, I always hung out with guys older than me. But what I really feel has got me to this level in my philosophy, my mindset, and my wisdom is the downfalls and the adversity I've had to experience at a very young age. 100%.
Definitely. I mean, a man's experience is what builds and makes his character.
100%.
And having to go through some tough experiences at a young age, the way I see it, it is a blessing.
Oh, it's one of the biggest blessings you can ever have as a man.
For sure. Rather struggle at a young age than at your
Absolutely.
later years in life.
Absolutely.
So since we're on that topic, I'd love to get to know you a little better. Rushil, in your early years, younger age, how did you get into this business? I have an idea because we've had a few conversations, but if you want, we can dive a little deeper. I mean, how did you get into the business you are in today?
Okay, so for all my life, I've always been someone that was extremely competitive, right? I was a professional athlete, played table tennis at a very, very high level. I started the sport at a young age, at around 11 years old, and I always strive for greatness. I always like to put in the hours and train extremely hard. And that's where my work ethic really stemmed from, was from the initial sporting journey. And I believe that an athlete always has an advantage in life because the lessons that you learn through sport of, you know, showing up every day, training, the consistency, the repetition is what translates very well into the world of entrepreneurship. So I've always been someone with very competitive traits, and that has led to me today coming to business. I never, as a child, my goal wasn't to be an entrepreneur. I actually wanted to be an athlete, but honestly, I feel like now that I'm in business, I really feel like my athletic career was a big blessing as well, because it taught me so many things that I wouldn't survive in the business world without, you know, the athletics experience initially. So
It gives you discipline.
well, the discipline, the delayed gratification, mental fortitude, the feeling of experiencing losses and going at it again and again. Because in business, it's the same thing. Business is just, you know, it's the same thing. It's a competitive world. You're competing against everyone.
Now more than ever.
More than ever, yeah. The things that you want, other people want. There's other players in the game. Business is a sport, just like any other sport is a sport. It's the same thing, right?
The difference, I would say now, compared to a few years back, is access is now a lot more available to, I mean, everybody has access to just tools and
Of course.
AI. We can talk about AI or maybe a little later, but
Yeah,
it's more competitive.
yeah.
Do you see that in your industry?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's never been more easy to be successful, but also never been easier to fail. I think it's what you do with the resources that we have right now that sets you apart.
Your business, I would say, is definitely different to what I do, my domain. And I'm very curious to know more a little about it. I'm naturally curious. My background, when it comes to business, my background was ERP sales, and I always compare it to being a doctor, but for businesses, because they'd come to you looking for a solution. And if you ask them questions and you're really curious, they'll just share everything with you. You talk to like industry leaders,
Yeah.
CFOs in the game of large groups, CEOs. Whatever you ask them, they will answer and they will disclose anything and everything you ask them. And that's opened my eyes to a lot of things. So naturally curious about business, and your business is not something that I had much exposure to. And I find it fascinating. From what I've gathered in our brief conversations is that there's a lot of networking, personal branding, your own reputation is quite important. But then you can tell me, I mean, from your side, what is it that you see in your space that is key to being successful in the custom jewelry industry? How would you categorize it, first of all, before we dive in?
So basically what we specialize in, like you said, is custom jewelry. We cater to celebrities, and I got into this entire space because I love networking, and with the vast experience that my family had in the diamond business and the 3 decades of working experience that they have in the industry, I had a very good setup when it came to supply chain and sourcing and procuring diamonds. But I myself really enjoy the networking aspect of life. I always like to connect with high-level CEOs, with influencers, with people that built a personal brand. So combining the two together, I found celebrity jewelry. And after I made a few pieces for some very interesting names, I really found a passion in the industry. And now I feel like it's very, very cool. Every single design, every single piece that we do has a different story. And nowadays, if you see any sort of jewelry brand, the ones that thrive the most are the ones that have the best marketing strategy in place and the best credibility as well. So that's why I feel like celebrity jewelry is a very good niche to tap into, because if you have visibility with the biggest names, you have credibility in front of anyone that you meet, and you're perceived as an entrepreneurial value, I feel, as well. So it's really the marketing that sets you apart in this day and age. I mean, if you see, it's anyone can make a jewelry piece, but it's about who buys from you and who trusts you to to make a piece for them. So I feel like that's very important.
Looking at your space, I'm sure it's very competitive.
Yeah,
Celebrities have always existed, and companies, individuals have always been catering to those celebrities through custom jewelry and other things, amongst other things. What sets you apart from others? This is not a new space. You're coming, it's an established space.
of course. Yeah.
What makes you different? Why does a celebrity work with you, with Rushil, and your company is called JBR Co?
Yeah.
Do they work with you or do they work with a company? Because the company is newly established.
Yeah. They work with us. They work with us first and foremost because we prioritize authentic relationships over everything. And what this means is my blueprint in networking is always as follows. I always try and give upfront value. And in this world today, to network, everything's about value exchange. A business transaction as well is the exchange of value, right? If you have value to provide and they see that the value is credible enough, they buy from you, right? But then they also buy from you because they like you. So in the beginning, the first thing I do is I try to provide upfront value. I try to see how we can get into a good place to discuss business and build a relationship. So I will first host them for a nice experience. If a celebrity is in Dubai, I'll take them to a good place. I'll try and show them a good time where I can then get them to like me, us to feel each other, to understand each other. And then that sets the tone for a good business relationship. Because at the end of the day, once you provide value, you enter the room. Once you enter the room, you get access. And once you get access, you get transactions. So it's really about providing upfront value. Then it's about, once you provide the value, you get access to the room. Then it's about pitching your business statement in the most authentic, genuine way possible. And what we do at JBR & Co. is we sell stories, we sell legacies with our pieces. We sell real meaning behind every single stone, every single thing we do. Everything is ultra customized. The amount of time that we put towards customization for our pieces is immense, right? We make sure there's engravings. We make sure we go through every single little detail, right? Try and get the rarest of the stones, the most unique stones. And we like to design pieces with our clients. We like to take their opinion on board as much as possible and let them sometimes even guide us, right? Because I like to always say, your clients sometimes know better. Let them speak. Don't oversell yourself, let them put their vision into jewelry. Jewelry is about being creative. Jewelry is about being innovative. So the way we do it as JBR & Co. is inspired by the unimaginable. We want to take the craziest things and bring them to life. And now we're even incorporating mechanics and engineering into our pieces with spinning pendants and zips and crazy, engineering.
Would you say the average or regular client that comes to you has already something in mind? Or do you get people who say, surprise me?
Yeah, of course.
Bit of both?
Bit of both. Sometimes they come with a design in mind. Sometimes they want something. All we really need to get the best designs is just a color palette, a vision board, a direction of where they want to go, and a little bit about their personal brand or their life story or what they're looking for in terms of jewelry. With that information alone, we can curate high-level designs, which can then be taken forward again with the client and and turned into reality.
If you had to choose, what type of client would you choose? The one that comes in with, that said, I want this, or Rushil, take it over?
I mean, to be honest, it's a bit of a risk and a gamble, because sometimes, like, if they come in not knowing what exactly they want, and they don't like your design, then obviously that's a bit of a problem. But I feel I like the first option, where they come in with an idea and then we take it to the next level. Obviously, it's very cool to do designs for clients where they just come in with a little bit of a vision and we take the rest forward. But I feel when they have a little bit of a plan and take it to the next level, it's when we've done our best pieces.
Gotcha. Okay. So I want to talk about business. Definitely. I want to definitely address marketing strategies, but before that, I'm curious to know more about your upbringing, and because you mentioned something very important. It is your experiences, the hardship that you've gone through, that molded your character and the way you go about your business nowadays. So tell me more about that.
I mean, coming from a traditional education-focused Indian family, I mean, being the first dropout of the entire family was one of the biggest struggles. It was honestly a nightmare for my family to understand me, understand my vision, understand that university wasn't just the path that I wanted. And I feel like that was one of the biggest struggles, the fact that I was the only professional athlete in my family, and that came with a lot of struggles too, because the fact that I didn't get along with peers in school, I didn't have any friends in school, I felt very lonely throughout my school years.
I was back in Belgium.
Yeah, back in Belgium, exactly. During my time at university, I went through hell as well. My attendance was 30%. I was getting emails from teachers and professors sent to my parents every single week saying that if he doesn't attend class, we're going to have to leave him out. My visa was being cancelled in the UK. I went through a lot of turmoil, and all in all, it was the worst time to get my parents to actually believe in me and understand that my vision could be a great success. And I just believe, like any successful entrepreneur, you see Mark Zuckerberg, you see anyone that's built a crazy business in this day and age, they've had to hold on a vision and believe in it so strong enough, even when the world doesn't believe in it themselves. And that's the people that become successful. Mm-hmm. It's those that had to overcome all the doubts, overcome all the hate, the criticism from the external world, and still make it through. And the single most beautiful thing about being a successful man is knowing that you did that. Because once you can overcome all these doubts, the fears, the anxiety, the external opinions, and still make it big in the world, that's when you know that no matter what setback comes to you, you'll end up successful. I like to always say a shark will always stay a shark. Because if you've had to do things where no one believes in you, everyone preys on your downfall, everyone wants you to fail, and you still make it through, you're capable of anything. And that's always been my mindset. I always like the mentality of the black sheep turns into the goat. Do things different. Don't follow what everyone does. Escape the ordinary, become extraordinary. This has always been my life motto. Never follow the route that everyone else follows, because you'll just end up like everyone else.
There's that saying, it's by doing extraordinary things will get you to achieve extraordinary outcomes, something along those lines. Right? You can't just do whatever everyone is doing. And
what's life without failure? What's life without making mistakes, right? And this is why I didn't like the education system altogether, because the things that the education system neglects and criticizes are the things that actually make you successful. Making mistakes, failing, asking questions, having opinions against what the rules actually are. The rule breaking. I mean, you need these things to be a successful entrepreneur. You need to bend and break the rules. You need to make mistakes again and again and again. You need to fail again and again and again, and then try again and again and again. And it's all this. And the whole idea of, oh, if you get an F on the test, you can't go to uni and you can't get a job. Well, I don't want to get a fucking job, bro. Give that job to someone else. I don't want to get a job. I'm here to live my life. I'm here to travel. I'm here to enjoy myself. And if I have to risk things to do it, well, then so be it. But I will come out on top. A shark will always be a shark. And that's just the name of the game. If you have what it takes inside, if you had to overcome hatred and opinions from every single person in your surroundings, and you were still able to make it on top, no matter what life throws at you, you will make it on top. And that is just God's given honest truth.
Well said. It's just crazy hearing this from someone that's as young as you. This passion, this fire you have inside of you is very obvious. It's mashallah. I say that with all my respect. I mean, whatever you're gonna set your mind to, I'm sure that you're gonna be very successful at it. You just gotta keep going on the same track. You mentioned you dropped out. How was that with your family? How did
It was absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
It was absolutely terrible. I was the first ever dropout in the history of my family. No one else dropped out. I come from a family of highly educated people. I have two elder brothers. They both topped university, both did really, really well academically. And this is what's funny. I did well academically too. I was always good at school, always got good grades. I was in fact even a nerdy kid because I didn't really have friends, and I was always walking around with a trolley in school and acing all of the tests. But it's quite funny. I turned out a dropout, but it led to a lot of problems within the family. My parents were like, okay, what do we do with him? We've tried everything we could. We've sent him to multiple universities and he doesn't want to complete the degree. So I went through one of the worst experiences of my life. To punish me, they sent me to rehab in India for 6 months, which was essentially like prison. I spent 6 months locked up. From April 2024 till October 2024, just complete isolation, no access to the internet, no phone, no social media, no friends, nothing. And I was in there, and I think through that time, I unlocked the most power within myself that I ever had. Because I realized that nobody cares about you. I realized that no one is coming to save you when you go through shit. And I realized that you're the only person that ever needs to give a shit about yourself. The only person is you. The only one that can come to save you is you. No one's going to solve all your problems. Nobody cares. Everyone has a complex life with complex day-to-day problems. Ever give a single shit about you more than you have to give a shit about yourself.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I mean, you know how it goes. People only remember how you made them feel about themselves. They don't really. Everyone's just.
And rehab for me was one of the best experiences I had because it taught me it was real with me and it was fake. It taught me that I should never chase people, only attract the best people around me and keep them close to me. It made me realize how powerful a small circle is compared to having just a group of many friends, because the bigger a circle, the more fake it is. The smaller it is, the more real it gets. And that's just the way of life, because I always like to say, I don't have millions of friends, but the friends I have are worth millions.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean this aside from money. I just mean in terms of the values and the morals inside and the friendship. If you can have friendship where people appreciate you for who you are and stand beside you and show up for you, and you only have a few guys like that, it's way more powerful than having hundreds of regular friends that you go out for a drink with. Because when I was locked up in there were only a few guys that messaged me. That's about it. I thought everyone would send me a message, where have you been? Are you okay? Are you alive? Nobody cared. And it hurt me initially, but it made me so much stronger because I realized I had to go and fight for what was mine myself.
You're pushing forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's no way around it. There's no way around it. So how did you, so you went through this very tough experience. How did you bounce back? You mentioned you've worked with some crazy names out there. I'm not going to say them. You are free to mention those names. But it's very impressive. How did you get in those circles? How did you meet these people? Early, not now, because we all know business brings business. Early on, how did you make it for yourself in that space?
Okay, so basically, I got out of rehab, jail, name it whatever. It's basically like jail. November 2024, and I came to Dubai. And initially, my family wasn't really supporting me, and I had to go out and prove things to them first before they would, have my back and actually push me to the next level. And I just came in with the mentality that, okay, I've not got a degree. My family doesn't know if they want me in the business in the future. I've betrayed their trust multiple times. I've not done the things that they wanted me to do. I need to make it on my own. I had that realization that, like, either it's this or I'll fail for the rest of my life and I'll end up nowhere. And that pressure is what took me to the next level. And I feel like once you're in that situation where, okay, either I fail, either I succeed, or I fail for the rest of my life, I feel like your peak performance can be unlocked in those situations.
Sink or swim.
And sink or swim, like fight or flight. So I had to go through that. And when I got out, my mentality was, I don't care about any distractions. I'm not drinking no alcohol anymore. I'm killing it in every single part of the game. The first step was getting in the gym. I wanted to build my body. I wanted to get in, stay consistent with my diet, with my training, and actually take my physique to a whole nother level. I always believe that if you take care of the relationship with yourself first, all the other relationships in your life get taken care of, whether it be with your business, your family. You have to be happy with yourself first. You have to look in the mirror and say, okay, I'm a man that's worthy of respect, and I respect myself enough, and I love myself, and therefore the relationships with the external world and my business and my professional life will all be taken care of automatically. First step for me was getting in the gym. After that, it was finding a career that I loved, which I've been blessed to have found jewelry. And then it was the authentic relationship building and getting in the right circles that took the whole business to another level as well. So I basically came into the real world with the pressure of having to make it or fail for the rest of my life. And that's what got the ball up and rolling.
Mm-hmm. Looking back now, were there any specific moments that stand out? Starting your career, getting into this, because it's really not a family business, right? Because I think automatically anyone would assume that, okay, family is in jewelry, he's in jewelry, but really you carved out something for your own that is custom jewelry. You mentioned your family's in wholesale.
Yeah, wholesale diamond business. Yeah,
that's a different type of business.
Yeah, completely different.
You're doing B2B.
Yeah,
right? You're working with other jewelers.
Yeah.
Whereas you're B2C, direct to consumer. I mean, if you can call them consumers. That's very, very, very different.
Yeah.
No amount of time in the factory is gonna teach you how to deal with a celebrity, manage their expectations, guide them through the process of making a piece. And right, businesses, I speak for myself, I am in the B2B space and now leaning towards the B2C space. It's a different monster. Very, very different.
Yeah, no, for sure. But this is actually very good advice I'm going to share related to this is use what you have and then bring in what you like and what you enjoy. Yeah. So what I had was the family background in the diamond business, the supply chain, the access, credibility, the credibility, the finest stones in the world, the ability to make really good pieces, the factory access, the network that my parents had. This is what I already had. What I loved was meeting people, connecting with them, understanding their stories, providing value to them, making introductions for them. And then once you use what you have and add in what you enjoy, find a business model that combines the two together. Like today, if you have a family business that supplies cars and you enjoy connecting with celebrities, okay, start a celebrity concierge service in Dubai. And that can then go really well because what you have is already there regardless. What you have is already there. And if you bring in what you enjoy to the picture, because life is all about the most successful people do what they love, number one. Because if you do what you love, you'll never work for a single day in your life. So see what you have, because oftentimes people think they don't have anything going for them, but they don't analyze the situation. You have so much.
Yeah. Write it down. Actually, just
Write it down. What's on the plate for you right now?
what do I want and what do I have?
Exactly.
And how can I get what I have to help me get what I want?
Exactly. And there's so many things in life that people don't understand how privileged they actually are. They don't see their current situation. They don't analyze it. They don't see what their family has, what they have, what they can do, what's with what's already been given to them. And then they don't analyze how they can take it to the next level, right? Obviously, you need to solve real life problems to be successful in any business, but you must never neglect what's already been given to you. Even if it's just small things like I know how to use a computer or I know how to communicate really well in English. That's a skill in itself, right?
Value your skills, your strengths, and how can they help you and serve you? Most people are naturally better at.
Bro, people are lazy. People are lazy. They have so many things on their plate, but they're not willing to really work for it.
Besides that, I'd say a lot of people, very successful people, tend to miss some key strengths they have compared to others. I'm guilty of this. Sometimes I forget about certain things that I'm naturally more skilled at than others, and I just do not take advantage of these things. I think it's very important not to look at what you have from your family or from your friends and the access you have, or look within. What are you naturally talented at? What do you enjoy? What do you like? What have you shown better? You are at better than others, and lean towards that. And now with AI and all that, there's no excuse. There is literally no excuse for you to take it forward.
But absolutely.
There's no way around it. Which brings me to, I'd love to know more about how you're currently going about your business. So you started one-man show, you made a presence in this space, you networked, you're growing your network, now you're setting up a business and you're growing it, you're scaling a business. It's not just Rushil providing value to celebrities, there's a company behind it.
Absolutely.
So that you can multiply your value to the market, right? What are you doing with AI to scale that, to do better?
Of course. So AI is very good for speed and precision as well as scalability. But it's very important, us being a high jewelry maison, catering towards some of the biggest figures, that we don't lose the authenticity and craftsmanship of the actual brand. So the maison style craftsmanship is always there. AI just sort of helps to really scale faster because we can get renders through quicker, initial renders. We can send them to our expert designers quicker, to our specialists quicker, and they can then go ahead and add in the authentic craftsmanship tweaks to it, right? Maybe some elements of incorporating mechanics into the piece, of adding some natural touches to it. But AI is definitely very, very useful when it comes to scalability, speed, precision, and timing.
Did you say you're utilizing it?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. And it's only going to be more and more. I feel the use of AI is very understated, and any business that wants to thrive now should be heavily using AI, whatever you do, you know. But for us, obviously, being a high jewelry maison, we can't lose the authenticity and the craftsmanship that we have, and that's what sets you apart. Yeah. So AI, of course, speed and precision, but we still maintain, you know, our high level designs with the authentic designers that add in, you know, human input towards.
And from a marketing perspective, what are you doing there? Your space is all marketing. Of course, given that you deliver value, but you can deliver the highest value if you don't have your marketing and branding right. You're just going to be delivering value to yourself.
Of course, which is why now we're investing heavily into content creation. You know, we have our office now in Dubai where we're going to record content on a daily basis. Every single celebrity that we work with, we try to create as much content as we can about the piece, about what they thought of working with the brand, their opinions, their reactions. And we deliver a story behind every single piece. We try to film a speech delivering the piece, which actually shows how our pieces are not just, diamond jewelry, but they're actually a story.
Smart.
Behind the actual piece. There's a legacy behind it.
I love it. It reminds me of something, actually.
You have to sell the result, sell what you're getting with. Don't sell the product, sell the result, sell the feeling, sell the emotions.
What's that company called? WAP? Is it WAP? As it touch, you know it. The one that Eamon Gatsi invested in. Is it that one? Yeah. Great business model. Marketing, even better. So what they do is they record. They have a very good YouTube channel. So they record. I'm not sure if they're doing it. I hope they're still doing it, but they're getting crazy amount of views, recording content like short films around their creators. So they go to their top successful or their top tier creators on that platform that are making very good money, and then they spend a day with them and they show like a day in the life with this person that is utilizing their platform. So when you said you create a story around the piece, kind of reminded me of that in its own way. I mean, it's quite similar. Having some sort of like film around the person that's getting the piece, even if they want to remain anonymous, that's fine. But like the style, the story, the stones, what's behind this, you can definitely do something. I don't say if anybody's doing it, is it?
We want JBR Co to resonate in a way that basically shows every single piece is ultra bespoke as can be. Even the packaging, we don't have a standardized sets of boxes. We have a team, in-house team for our packaging that curates new boxes based on the story of the client and the celebrity or the figure or the person we're working with. So when we did a piece for Lil Pump, for example, the packaging box was completely curated towards the style and the theme of the piece. So the piece that we did for him, you can put on the screen, was a piece called Back from the Dead, BFD. So it was essentially a skull with black diamonds for the hair, red rubies for the eye, and fully iced out. And then we did the packaging in the shape of a tombstone. And it had a really crazy design, and the materials, all the finest suede, the finest velvet. So every single piece we do, we try to create a story with everything, not just the jewelry and the diamonds, but also the packaging, the unveiling experience, and basically have that whole wow factor of when they open the piece. It's like a kid in a candy store. It's like a guy entering paradise, like I want to get that wow feeling. And that's also what excites me the most about custom jewelry is the happiness and the excitement you see in a client's face when they see a piece, and it's one of the best feelings ever.
Yeah, that within itself is a whole experience.
It's a crazy experience. It's so magical, when we have had to, like, when clients see, for example, engagement rings, when they see custom chains, and they see how it's a milestone towards their success as well, and that's what really keeps us motivated. It's how happy our clients are after they get their pieces as well.
That's interesting for the different type of jewelry that you work on. So there's the flashy stuff, right, for the rappers, but then it's not just rappers. You work with a lot of other individuals who people might not know.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the difference? Are they also like, are they buying flashy things? Are they customizing flashy things as well, or is it more discreet?
We're catered towards everything. See, we're in the niche of ultra bespoke, high-end custom jewelry. So obviously, we work with high jewelry. Most of our pieces are 18-karat gold set diamond pieces, but we do everything from bespoke engagement rings, wedding rings, custom chains, custom, obviously, rapper-style Cuban chains with big pendants. Honestly, everything that has the elements of diamond innovation and design we cater towards.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a very interesting space. I've been looking into jewelry recently, and been spending some time in Golden Diamond Park. Maybe you know it.
Of course.
Yeah. You spend some time there?
Yeah, one of our manufacturing units is there as well.
Yeah.
We procured an entire space. We got a few of our employees from India factory to come down there and work with us there. So yeah,
You guys have a store there?
we got a factory like there, a small procuring unit, manufacturing unit.
Amazing. What do you think of the lab-grown diamonds versus real diamonds? It's very popular now.
I mean, and do you know the difference, first of all?
You tell me.
Okay, so on a molecular level, they're exactly the same. First of all, right? Lab-grown diamonds, the only difference is really that one is built under very high pressure in the earth, which is the natural diamond, and it's obviously more rare, right? Because lab-grown diamonds are just made in a lab. Natural diamonds are made in high amounts of pressure in the earth, which gives them that rarity that they have as well. But obviously, because of the price differences, many people are favoring towards lab-grown diamonds, right? Because obviously a lot more affordable, and with a lower price point, they can give you some very big stones as well, big pieces. So from that point of view, obviously in terms of the budget, lab-grown diamonds are very popular now for engagement rings because you can get a big center stone for, a fraction of the price it would be as a natural diamond.
How does that reflect in your industry? What do you see your clients coming in?
Lab-grown diamonds are pretty popular right now, but we cater towards both,
Okay.
The ultra wealthy clients will still always go for
Insist on
natural diamonds, yeah. But honestly, from like even diamond experts, when you look at the diamonds, it looks exactly the same.
There's no way to set them apart.
There's no way to set them apart besides testing it.
Yeah, and that test is not like any regular test. So it has to be like a very advanced test.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So on a molecular level, they're exactly the same. The chemical composition's exactly the same. It's just one's made in the earth under high amounts of pressure, and one's made in the lab. Right? Think of it as like a laser printer to create something. And then in the future, we might have printers to make cars. We might have printers to make a car versus a car that's made in factories in Italy, a Ferrari, for example.
Yeah. And from
so there's that symbol of rarity because obviously you can make lab diamonds much quicker.
Look, I've thought about this, and the way I see it is diamonds. I mean, in not as a collector piece, or they've never really appreciated in value. I mean, if you buy jewelry, diamonds, where you're going to resell diamonds, it's never really appreciated in value, has it? Because it's what you're paying for is the craftsmanship, right? The rarity of the stone, reselling it, at least from what I know, I'm not in this space. What I hear is that the resale value of real diamonds has never been appreciating. So when it comes to lab-grown diamonds, it's not like it has affected the value of real diamonds, has it? Has it depreciated real diamonds?
No.
Okay, so it's just remained the same.
What do you mean by this?
What I mean is, since lab-grown have become more popular, has it affected real diamonds in any way? Has it appreciated in price for real diamonds, or has it depreciated, or it's just remained the same?
So it's just remained the same. Yeah.
Okay, it's just opened up a new. It's opened
up a new avenue for more budget-friendly customers to find a solution to get higher end pieces for a much lower cost that look exactly the same, essentially. Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough. So more people to sell to.
Exactly. More people to sell to. And even very high-end customers. A lot of celebrities choose lab-grown diamonds as well. They're eco-friendly. They're sustainable too. So obviously all our stones come with full GIA certification, full authenticity, which is very important. Transparency is very important in the industry right now altogether. But yeah, it basically is a very budget-friendly option, which can give you incredible value if you're looking for a big center stone in an engagement ring, or you're looking for a very high spec'd out diamond chain. You can get, the same looking piece for, 1/6, 1/8 of the price.
Right. In your business, would you say you sell more to celebrities or famous people that are not famous? What's the split?
We worked with a lot of celebrities at that point. We worked with a lot of high-end, high-profile clients, but we also sell to a lot of high net worth founders, high-end entrepreneurs, and successful business executives as well.
And right now, there's more of them, the celebrities, or is fairly split?
Fairly split, yeah.
Okay. And what do you prefer? You prefer dealing with celebrities or more discreet individuals?
Both.
Fair.
Both, yeah. Both are really, really good.
I mean, the exposure you get with celebrities, of course, helps.
Insane, for sure. It's crazy. The amount of credibility you have when you speak to even just business individuals in general. You go to events and you speak to them that, oh, I've worked with this guy, I've worked with this guy. It's just insane because nowadays people buy into credibility.
Mm-hmm.
Trust is created through credibility. If I think about any business I'm transacting into now, a lot of times it's because of who I've seen buy from that business. For example, even the gyms I go to, sometimes I see, I go to this gym because a lot of successful people or famous people go to that gym, and I'll get the chance to maybe meet them, which is why I bought a membership there. So if you think about things in your life, why do you buy from businesses? Why do you buy from people? A lot of the times it is credibility. Yeah. Who else has bought from them?
Whether you know it or not.
Yeah, whether you know it or not, it's most of the time the case. Like, oh, why do I go to a crazy restaurant? I saw this famous guy there posting a story of him at that restaurant. Might as well try it out. He liked it. He posted a good review about it. Like trust is gained through credibility, right? At the end of the day. And if you see someone as credible or business being credible, you're more prone to trying it out.
It adds to your perceived value. I mean, if that person liked it, then it must be something good.
And that's also how word of mouth and referrals starts as well. If you give a very good impression to a celebrity or someone with a big network and a powerful network, you're very likely to get more people within those circles to buy from you. Because if you think about it, if you like something in life, you'll talk about it with your friends, you'll talk about it with your family. And if they're interested in the service or product you're providing to the marketplace, they're likely to become a customer. So it's all about...
And refer others.
And I like to always say, you sell once, you made a sale. You sell twice to the same person, you build trust. And then you sell with them telling their friends and their family, then you build a brand. So first gain the trust, right? First, obviously, make the sale, gain the trust, and then build a brand.
And you must deal with a lot of people. Well, that means you deal with different personalities. I'm sure there's a lot of great characters you've met along the way. Maybe you met some interesting characters as well. Not so great, crazy stories.
I mean, the reality of being an entrepreneur is that you have to have stability when it comes to dealing with a lot of different personalities. And if they don't like what we do, well, okay, they're just not clientele for us. They're not people we want to work with.
But have you had any?
They're not part of the brotherhood. We have a brotherhood. They're not, like, I don't think of clients as clients. I think of them that, okay, we're all one big family here. We're here to...
Being in business, you have to accept the fact that you're going to run into certain unfortunate situations. I mean, just me recently, I've gotten hit unpaid invoice of $500,000. Delivered the work, completed, purchase order in hand. What are you going to do? Go to court, wait, debt collection. And you get put in these certain situations from even people that you would never have expected for things to go that way. Right? It's business. Your first time is going to be a shock, but then it's business. You got to get past that. So for you, have you had any shocks that really opened up your eyes from a business perspective, that it's a cutthroat world out there?
Yeah, of course. A lot of times I've had so many times where I had really big deals coming to me. I had a lot of or big inquiries from big clients, but they didn't go through. But it's like, you have to accept that these things are inevitable, right? Like, you're going to go through them. You're going to go through the times and the periods where you thought things would work out and last minute they don't. That's just the way business works. That's the way life works. Nothing's ever guaranteed, right? I always like to say the only time a deal is closed is when you receive funds in the back.
100%.
Until then, no deal is closed. People can talk, people can say anything, people can say, oh, I'm going to buy it from you. But unless they don't pay, no deal is closed. Nothing's ever happening. It's all just talk. And this world is full of talk. So at the end of the day, like, you have to accept that as an entrepreneur, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to talk their way through you. And for me, it's not even about the money. I just don't want to get my time wasted, because we put a lot of service, we put a lot of time into what we do, we put a lot of energy and effort because it's about the love, it's about the brotherhood in my brand. It's not transactional at all. It's about creating legacy pieces, creating stories, creating real immense value with each and every piece. So of course, it's frustrating when we get an inquiry, it goes to the final stage, and then someone cuts out. But that's business, that's life.
You just gotta vet people better. Yeah, and that comes with experience, right?
Yeah, of course.
You can smell people and their intentions, and just you'll be able soon enough just to immediately see through people's true intention. Because there's a lot of window shoppers as well, right? How many times have you gone to the car dealership and just everyone's done it? I mean, growing up, oh, you want this, you test drive that, and you can't blame people. What you can do is control or focus on what you can control. Vet people better, right?
Yeah.
And you don't know who you get connected with today that might not buy, that can potentially buy from you tenfolds later. So you gotta know how to invest your time.
Absolutely. And you got to know who to target and who to work with and who is the right client for what you're selling in your business altogether. Like JBR Co is an ultra bespoke jewelry maison focused on custom jewelry. So obviously we want to target the people that really want a one-of-one unique piece and favor to having, like, those that have favor to create their completely unique piece rather than something that can just be found on a catalog and reproduced.
Do you actually reach out to them? Do you do outreach, targeted outreach?
Of course.
So people who have not really opted in and shared.
Of course. I mean, the band's still going, right? We still have to do a lot of outreach all the time.
How do you go about that without disclosing any secrets? Because you want to give your recipe to others, right?
Of course, but I'd say being at the right events, talking about what you do, who you've worked with, that in itself is outreach. You don't need to be an outright salesman straight away. You just need to show your value. The most incredible thing about being a successful man is having value, because when you have value, doors open to you wherever you go. When you have credibility, when you have value, when you have status, when you have a business that's actually providing substance, no matter where you go, people will be interested in what you want to do. They want to talk further. And then, there might be a business outcome from that too. So it's about presenting yourself in a way that's valuable, position yourself in the right places, go to the right rooms, the right events. And as you gain momentum and the ball keeps on rolling, you will get more opportunities coming your way. And that's just the way of the game.
Making sure that you also present yourself somewhat different.
Absolutely.
Always be different.
Highest level of service, highest level of uniqueness is very, very important.
Working that initial impact. When you are in the room, there's other people in that room. So what are you doing to make your...
Yeah. Initially, I don't even talk about business. Initially, I just try to be friends. Initially, I just try to provide upfront value. If it's a celebrity, for example, I'll see what they're looking for in Dubai. I'll see, how I can enhance their time here first, with certain experiences that they might want to do, certain other powerful people I could connect them to. When you provide upfront value, as I said, you get access to the room. And once you get access to the room, that's when you get access to business opportunities, right? Everything's about timing, right? If you go at people like a direct salesman all the time and you're just there to get, a transaction, well, they're also going to perceive you in that way. They won't regard you as a friend or a brother. They're also going to say, okay, this guy's transactional. What am I going to get out of it? What's in it for me? And that's not the approach and mentality you should have if you want to get into the celebrity industry, because that's what everyone's trying to do. And like you said, if you're trying to do what everyone's trying to do, well, then you're just going to be like everyone. So my approach has always been very different, and it always will be. JBR Co is about real brotherhood. It's about authentic relationships. It's about friendships, first of all, and it's less so transactional. Like, I don't work for money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't work for money. I work for authenticity. I work for brotherhood. I work for friendships. I work to provide real service and value to the world. And I see money merely just as a side effect.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something that comes along.
It's a result of
Exactly.
the work that you put in there.
It's not something I chase. I don't chase money. I chase the man I'm going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I chase the man, not the money. The money follows when you become more valuable than money. And this is a very famous quote, is that if the money that you make is directly correlated to the amount of value that you provide to the ecosystem. The more value that you provide,
Mm-hmm.
and the more that you have to offer,
Mm-hmm.
in return, the more you'll be paid.
It's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that. Think about some of the biggest entrepreneurs in the world, why they are multi-billionaires. It's because the amount of value that they're providing to the world, the amount of impact, the amount of resources that they're giving to people is just so big that in return, their paycheck has to be so big or make it last.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing here. I chase value.
If you position yourself to be undeniably valued, there is nothing that will stand in your way for long enough to stop whatever is meant to come to you to actually make that to you.
Exactly. And this is why also it's so important to have connections, high-level connections in different industries, because you become so much more resourceful when you're connected with a pool of successful entrepreneurs in different spaces, because this is how referrals really works. This is how even celebrities you want to connect to, big guys in different industries you can hook them up with. That leads to you having a better relationship with them. So like, I want to be known as a plug as well. I want to have plugs for many different people, as well as being a successful jeweler. I want to be someone that's able.
That's the key, as well as being a successful jeweler. Because look, there's networking with value, and then there's just chasing clout. Being part of an ecosystem, having a network that is adding to your value versus you just chasing random people around, the key difference, in my opinion, is what value are you bringing? If you have something valuable, you're contributing to your ecosystem, you're adding value to other people, naturally people will want to introduce you to other people they have in their network. Whereas what a lot of people mistake today, what they do is they think that, I just got to go to as many events as possible, shake as many hands as possible, exchange contacts, and then just spam people, connect me, do this for me. You need to not forget that you must create value. Work on yourself, build something that actually helps people, and then you will become undeniable.
Absolutely.
You're not relying on Rushil or anyone to introduce you. You are your own. You have your ecosystem.
Most of the time when people say that they will introduce you there, they will never actually do it. Why would people expose their power? For many people, their power is their network, right?
Imagine, you put in so much effort to nurture your ecosystem, and really, people are biting others left, right, and center. Imagine this. You've worked 20, 30 years to build something of value. It's a world full of sharks out there, right? You build something. Then you have someone in your network that exposes you to any person that just passes by. How would you perceive the person that opens you up to a random person that could have malicious intent? That's not a good friend to have.
Well, it's never good friend to have at all.
That's the way I see it, right? That's the way I see it. Strong connections really come from you being strong yourself first.
Absolutely.
So if you're not there yet, and you see the networking is not working for you, I think advice is just focus on yourself, build something, and that will naturally follow.
100%.
So what's next for you?
I mean, so obviously you want to continue working with some really big names. You want this year to get a few more really, really big names on. We just want to continue doing pieces that we love. As we said, involve more mechanics and engineering into the pieces, scale with AI as well. We have a big team around us now, thankfully. We have our offices. We want to really cater towards the best of the best and do more collaborations with brands is something we're looking for. Other luxury brands, collaborate with them, potentially collaborate with venues, with places in the world. And we want to even build jewelry brands for people, for other celebrities. We want to actually go ahead and provide infrastructure for them to launch their own jewelry brands. So that's something we're looking towards as well, because a lot of creators and celebrities would prefer ownership rather than equity in a brand. So we want to actually go ahead and target the right people to build their own jewelry brands with them and use the supply chain we have to provide them with the best of the best. We're also gonna get into eyewear customization using diamonds, which is our next project as well. So diamond eyewear, because eyewear is very, very important now. We want to integrate tech and diamonds together. And yeah, we want to do a lot more cool pieces this year as well. So I think that's what we're gonna focus on.
Very exciting. Well, thank you again for your time today. I'm very excited to see what's next, what the future holds for you. I'm sure it's gonna be incredible, very exciting. Maybe we can sit again a year from now, or maybe even sooner, just to recap and see how your journey's gone, because you're quite ambitious and you move fast. I can see.
Okay, so brother, I have a question for you now. If someone isn't using AI in 2026, are they already behind?
Yeah, you're done. I think you're out if you're not using it. Okay, jokes aside. If you are getting started, you're curious, you're looking into the different solutions, I think it's not too late, because the learning curve for AI is quite short. So if you're at that point, good, keep going. But if you're not considering it, or you're still stuck in a mindset where AI is just not for me and it's not going to replace us and it's not all of that, there's some people still out there doing that. I think that's a dangerous place to be at. If you're not considering it for your marketing, how you can automate it, there's some crazy tools out there. And we're working on one ourselves. If you're not considering it for your customer success, customer service, for what you mentioned earlier, how it can help with the engineering part, the design, you gotta be doing that. You can't miss your chance. Now is the chance. You know, it's like when the internet came out, when it was just out to the public for the very first time, you don't want to be the one that just ignored it.
Of course. Exactly.
That's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
But enough questions from your side. You're the guest. We want to ask you questions. I want to know more about you. And I've prepared a few questions, if you don't mind, of course. So my question for you, one amongst many other questions to come. So what is one trait that you absolutely do believe will hold someone back from being successful?
Inability to sacrifice. Right? You have to sacrifice who you are today for who you want to be tomorrow. You have to give up certain things about your present life to have your dream future life. What I mean by this is there's no way to be successful in this world if you don't want to let go of the things that are holding you back. Right? If you want to build a good body, you're going to have to get rid of the alcohol. You're going to have to sacrifice the parties and the enjoyment and going out with your friends to get to the next level. It's just the way of the game. And most people aren't willing to sacrifice. They aren't willing to give up their privileges or their vices to achieve success, and that's why they'll never be successful. You have to go through sacrifice. Sacrifice creates paradise. So if you don't know how to sacrifice, you will never see how life can be a paradise.
Well said. Now, my follow-up question is, what is one thing that you wish you knew earlier?
There's no handouts in life. There's no easy path towards success. There's no hacks to the system, right? It's work every single day. It's consistency. It's repetition. And you have to acknowledge and accept that no one's going to give you opportunities that will change your life. You're going to have to create your own opportunities by creating your own value. And that is the most valuable and the most beautiful thing about being a man, is your ability to do so. Your ability to persevere, your ability to overcome doubt and show up every single day, build excellence, and create your own long-lasting opportunities. No one's going to give it to you. Nobody is going to save you. Nobody is going to help you, because everyone has to help themselves first, and they always will. So if you want to be successful, you have to be selfish at first. You have to understand that nobody is your friend, and the only one that's going to support yourself, bring yourself what it is that you're desiring, is you.
That's an important lesson.
There's no handouts. No one's going to give you anything. Right? If you want something, you have to take what's yours.
The sooner you realize that as well, the sooner or the better.
People won't realize it. And that's the thing. They think that, oh, one day my parents are going to help me out. And okay, they might help you out, but if you don't know how to help yourself out, all of that is temporary. The help that you're getting from your family is going to be temporary, because there's going to come a day where you're in a situation where you're the only one standing. So you have to understand how to bring yourself opportunities on your own. And you can only do this by creating immense value within yourself, uplifting your skills, uplifting your network, going to the right places, studying the game, understanding what the world needs, understanding what people need, understanding what society lacks and what society needs. And when you can provide value and solve those problems, you will have a full life of opportunities. And things will come to you regardless of where you are and who's with you. So the number one lesson I can tell anyone is that nobody ever gives a shit about what you're going through. And if you want to be successful, you have to solve your own problems. Nobody cares.
So Rushil, another question. I'd like to know if there has been something, one thing that you stopped doing instantly that upgraded your life.
I stopped hanging around any form of negativity. Anything that brought me down, anything that led to past bad habits reoccurring in my life, I got rid of it completely. I eliminated every single person that did things that led to my downfall. When I was drinking alcohol, for example, I don't want to be around guys that regularly drink alcohol. Not because I don't like them or I think they're bad people. It's just because I was at my lowest point in life when I was drinking and going out and partying. I wasn't going to the gym. And why should I bring that time back? It's not right of me to do so. You will only take forward leaps in life when you surround yourself with the energy that you want to attract. And this is just something I don't want to attract, right? So eliminate all the negativity and focus on the energy that elevates you. Focus on being around people that take you to the next level, right? So eliminate any form of negativity. This is one thing that I will always stand by. Why should I be around guys that will bring back habits in me when I was at my lowest point in life? Why should I do that?
It's that saying, there's a bad wolf and then there's a good wolf. Who wins? It's the one you feed, right?
Exactly.
Along those lines.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what you feed within you that will thrive.
Exactly, yeah.
And grow. All right, Rushil. Question. What is one piece of advice that you would want to give to the audience?
Your mind is more powerful than you think it is. And you need to operate from a mindset of abundance. You need to believe that you've achieved certain things before you've even achieved it. And that's where manifestation really comes into play. You need to visualize yourself with what it is that you want, your desires, your achievements, before things have really fallen into place. You already need to know that you're going to be there. Because if you have that thought in the mind, if the thought is so strong, where it feels like reality inside your mind, you will work towards it, right? And you'll make it happen. So never underestimate the power of the mind. The mind is extremely powerful, and you must manifest. You must think about these things at night when you're alone. You must visualize them, and you must believe in them so strongly that they have no other choice but to turn into reality and actual real life. So what you're thinking about in your mind is so, so important, and you need to fill it with as much good stuff, as much positivity, as much positive energy as possible, as well as being around good surroundings. You need to be around a circle of winners. You need to be around people who are doing exactly the same, because you will only grow according to the level of your surroundings, right? If you're on 4 losers, you will be the 5th loser. If you're on 4 winners, you will be the 5th winner. And that's just the simple algorithm of winning and success in general. Is you need to be around guys that have like-minded mentalities, that want the same things as you, because you will only get to the next level when your surroundings allow you to do so.
You are who you surround you.
You are the product of your surroundings, right? It's so true, and it's one of life's biggest truths, is that if you want to be successful, if you want to be a millionaire, if you want to be an incredible athlete, you need to be around people who are either aspiring the same goals as you or at that level themselves. They're the only people that can get you to the next level. Because surroundings feed into what we do. Surroundings feed into our behaviors. Surroundings feed into how much effort we put into our craft or ourselves. So if you're around shit people all the time, well, guess what's going to happen? You're just going to end up like them.
100%.
Even if you have determination, your surroundings is energy. The whole world is about energy and attracting the right energy, right? Energy, like the law literally of conservation of energy is, energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed from one form to another. So if you're around energy that is filled with hatred and negativity, well, that's going to be transformed. That's going to be transferred directly into your behaviors and what you do. So I think I should say that line again, because I studied.
Do it again, yeah.
I studied.
It's natural, it's good.
You think it's natural? Like it'll be good? Okay. Just like the law of just like the law of conservation of energy from a scientific point of view, how energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed from one point from fucking hell. Just like the law states, energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred. Just like the law states, energy cannot be destroyed or created, only transferred from one form to another. This literally is one of the morals of life, right? Because if you're around energy that's destructive, well, then it will lead to self-destructive habits. It will lead to you falling down in every single thing that you're doing. So it's so important that you surround yourself with the right people. And this is the key to any sort of success, is being around other people that want the same things as you and eliminating every single person that will pull you down. You need to identify people, you need to identify circles, and you need to stay away from any person that's going to just bring negativity and a downward spiral into your life.
So, okay, just wrapping up this podcast, I'd like to conclude with a question. Maybe you have something to say around that. For anyone that is at a low point in their life, someone that is facing some challenges, difficulties, what do you have to say to that person?
Okay, so I want you to know that nothing is permanent in this life. The highs are not permanent, the lows are not permanent. I live by a quote, and the quote is, "This time too shall pass." And what this means is that if you're at an all-time high, there's going to be lows coming up, right? Life is like this. So you have to understand nothing's permanent. The highs are not permanent, the lows are not permanent, the wins are not permanent, and the losses are not permanent. And once you understand that, you will create resilience within yourself and your character. And you'll be able to overcome any challenge. So have faith in God, trust the journey, and know that one day, right, you'll be able to make it through the lows, get the highs, And that'll make the losses even more bearable because you're gonna have losses along the way. So nothing is permanent. It's not the wins, not the losses, not the mountaintops, not the rock bottoms. Right? Everything is temporary, and this time too, my friend, shall pass.
It's the good times, or rather it's the bad times that make the good times even better. Without them, then the good times become standards, and standard becomes boring.
My final blueprint, my final point that I want to say to you guys, right, is this, right? When you think of successes and failures, if you have this mindset towards success and failures, you will always be successful. And you'll never get complacent when you become successful. You never get comfortable. Think of it like this, right? Failures teach you life's deepest lessons. Successes prove and show to you that dreams can come true. So failures and setbacks teach you life's biggest lessons. Successes show you that dreams can come true. But never hold yourself to your successes, because that's when you get comfortable. Success leads to comfort, comfort leads to failure. And then failure teaches you what you need to become successful. So never get in that loophole. When you celebrate success, okay, celebrate it. If it's in business, buy yourselves the things you want to buy. Don't get attached to it. Don't get, trapped in that lifestyle, because then you'll get back to square one. You lose the initial purpose of what you initially worked for in the beginning, right? Like many people get into business because they want to make money to achieve freedom. That's the purpose. The purpose is not tying yourself to external rewards. The purpose is not, falling into wrong habits. That's not the purpose. The purpose is taking care of your family, achieving freedom. So always stick to your principles and your initial purpose, because you never want to fall in that loophole of success, comfort, failure, and then stay in that forever. So failures teach you the biggest lessons. Failures are what make you. Successes show you that dreams can come true and can turn into a reality.